Okay, straight from the Amazon warehouse, this is Samsung Galaxy M52 5G retail unit. I bought this long time back when people were doing first impressions and unboxing, but as a buyer, you don't buy a phone based on first impressions, right? We tell you to buy it based on reviews. That's why I waited for a month to use this phone as my daily driver, and here's my long-term review for you of the Samsung Galaxy M52 5G. Subscribe if you like reviews. I mean, who doesn't? Stay wiser. And the Samsung M52 has a lot of features like Snapdragon 778, 5G 120Hz AMOLED, and it has a 5000 mAh battery and still so lightweight. But that seems very good to hear, right? But is it? Is it worth your 26,000 rupees? Well, we'll see. And just to keep the review interesting and fun, we are judging this phone like you judge people on important parameters like build quality, display, performance, camera, software and battery. We'll give it points out of 10. So the deal is, if any parameter is below 5 and that parameter matters to you, straight up don't buy the phone. For example, if the camera is 5 out of 10 and the camera is what you're looking for, don't buy the phone. So while I picked the phone back up, it's light. Now some people complain about the in-box content of this phone. For example, you get a 15-watt charger, not USB PD and not 25 watt, while the phone supports 25-watt charging. And no case, no scratch guard, along with some paperwork and a SIM ejector tool. Now I'll let all of this slide by because since pretty much all Samsung smartphones, even the flagship ones, have a lower grade charger and no case or no scratch guard, we weren't expecting anything different. Moving on, the in-hand feel of the phone is really good. It has a 5000 mAh battery and still weighs around 185 grams. The scale is pretty bad. It's 175 on paper. Now, the earlier M51 had a 7000 mAh battery. It was a good phone, but more importantly, it was bulky at 213 grams. I like lightweight phones and I appreciate this. Now, the frame is plastic, back is plastic. You get Corning Gorilla Glass 5 protection on the front. So overall for build, handy weight, I'll give it 7 out of 10. If it had glass at the back, it would be easy 8 or 9. But it's a 7 and 7 is not bad. Moving on, now the display, it's a 1080p 120Hz Super AMOLED display. Now, if you're confused with the huge 120Hz Super AMOLED Plus name, here's a good video on displays and their breakdown. Check it out after watching this video. Now it's a good Samsung panel, no doubt. Vibrant colors, bright as well, but 3 things that I found. First thing, there's no stereo speakers. Now hear it for yourself. Now, how loud do you ask? Well, you can listen to songs when you bath, but you cannot watch YouTube videos in your hall under a fast fan. Perfect analogy. Second, the most annoying thing is the auto brightness sensor in this. It's not calibrated well. Like, hold on, let me switch off the light. And now here, look at the display brightness. And to just give you perspective, here's Note 2, my daily driver. Most of the time indoors, the display is very bright. Every time I would just reduce the brightness manually. Like, this should be fixed with a software update. Third, the display does support HDR10+, so you can watch HDR on YouTube, but on Netflix, no HDR. And I'm mad because this is a really good display. See here, Kaushal was doing a comparison in Hindi. Check it out here and subscribe. But side by side, this is Mi 11 Lite NE 5G with 10-bit 90Hz Dolby Vision display. Huge name, but that's not the point. See this Hana scene? You can precisely see everything in the dark on Samsung. It has such good HDR processing. Here, have a look at another example. This is a 10-bit HDR offline video. The sky is not blown out in the Samsung M52. And that is damn good. Damn good display. Now, I don't get this. Such a good display, but no Netflix license for HDR. For display again, I would give it 9 out of 10, and that is the exact reason where I say specs don't show the exact picture. If you or I wouldn't have seen it side by side, I would say it's an average display. It has small issues which can be fixed with updates, so let's not cut marks for that. Now, here's the most interesting part, performance. See, you get Snapdragon 778G on Samsung M52. It's a good processor, no doubt, but there's a lack of optimization for this phone. I have a reason for it. See, I did a CPU throttling test. It crashed for the first time, but then it turned out good. However, I faced random app crashes in my day-to-day usage, and the major issue was the camera launch time. Like here, this takes a long time. I mean, for a phone at 26,000 or Snapdragon 778G, that's a bit delayed. Again, I played a bit of BGMI, not a pro gamer, but what I can see is in BGMI at smooth graphics, extreme FPS, it drops from 60 FPS quite a lot. And if you play Genshin Impact, forget playing it at 60 FPS, no chance. So that was right in front of you on the camera. So for performance, this is like 6 out of 10. And the bug list continues to camera as well. Like here, see, I tap multiple times and it just clicks 1 or 2 photos. Like I've tapped 4 to 5 times and it's just 1 photo. And at low light, it gets even worse. I've missed a lot of photos. The whole viewfinder lags. By the way, you have a 64 megapixel f1.8 main sensor, and daytime, the photos were really good. The human photos tend to be slightly yellowish or boosted. The really good thing is the edge detection in portrait mode. It's on point. The photos are a bit saturated, but not like Vivo. Sometimes the HDR gets crazy on Samsung, like this photo is not completely dark. There can be better shadows. So on some occasions, it fails a bit. And next, you have a 12 megapixel wide angle sensor and obviously 5 megapixel macro. Now, when there's good light, the wide angle camera takes good photos. But as you get to low light or nighttime, the photos are soft, shaky, and yes, here's my favorite feature. If you're shooting in 1080p 30 fps, you can switch between all 3 cameras, front, rear, wide angle, while the video is being shot. A lot less smartphone in this price range give this option. And talking about videos, here's the stabilization in 4K 30 fps and 1080p 30 fps. So on the front, you get a 32 megapixel main sensor and the photos are sharp. The skin tone was again a bit towards yellowish. However, in low light, the shutter takes quite a while to take a photo and then the selfies get a bit shaky. And this is the video through the front camera. So the M52 can only shoot up to 1080p through the front camera, which is a bummer. Should have been 4K, but here you can judge the mic quality through the front camera. You also have the 5 megapixel macro camera, which takes really good photos outdoors, but yeah, just use it outdoors. And this was a weird bug which we saw for the entire day. The camera was showing 2 shutter buttons. Some UI redrawing error and both of them were taking photos. We had to actually clear the storage of the camera to fix this bug. So camera quality is good without the occasional bugs and slowness. The wide angle camera could have been better and Samsung could have provided 4K in the front camera. So I would rate it 6.5, 7 out of 10 for 7 out of 10 for easy calculation. And yes, the most important part, software. You get One UI 3.1 based on Android 11 software, which is top notch. You are aware about Samsung's update history. Really good. Now, to clear the confusion, Samsung will provide a 4-year security update to the M series. And about Android update, we have asked Samsung. We'll update the description once they reply, but you can take it to be 2 years. Now, tab management is the best in One UI. Period. Like I have YouTube Premium, and even for unofficial premium users, you can hide the YouTube pip window from the side like iOS. No other skin lets you do that. Plus, you have the shelf where you can anytime drag an app and open in pop-up mode. Like I'm watching a YouTube video and I want to reply to a WhatsApp message. There's the pop-up, there you go, and done. Just like that. And now since this is M series, you have a lot of bloatware. You can delete them, but shouldn't be there in the first place. And then this Discover tab in the app drawer, like why you have to put it straight up in the app drawer? Like if you have to give it, it could be in the search bar. Like it's less upfront on you. Now the haptic feedback of the device is also below average. Here, have a listen. And Samsung also disables it for their keyboard, which is every M series life ever. Now, not all is bad. You get NFC, Samsung Pay works like a charm, and good lock modules, and you cannot install good lock modules. I tried side loading good lock and only one module worked, one hand plus operation, so that's there. Battery really worked good for me. I would end my day with 20 to 30% charge with around 5 hours of screen on time. On a heavy day, I would still go to bed around 10%. So a lot of people on the internet are discussing about the network issues on the Samsung M52 5G. Well, I had just one occasion when we were shooting the display video where it wouldn't connect to any Wi-Fi. But after that, used it for more than 2 weeks, a bit longer than that, but 4G carrier aggregation, Wi-Fi 5 GHz, 2.4 GHz works absolutely like a charm. So all in all, you get Samsung Pay, really good software, good battery life. There's no Samsung DeX or wireless charging, ads and bloat as well. So I would score it 7 out of 10. Rest all, you get all the sensors, Wi-Fi 6, 4G carrier aggregation works really well, and there's also 11 bands of 5G. I rarely get calls, sad life, but when I get a call, I didn't face any network issue or call drops. That part is 10 out of 10. Now, finally, should you buy the Samsung Galaxy M52 5G? Well, as per the scorecard and reality, it's a 7 out of 10 phone. Not great, not bad. If you aren't a heavy gamer, you can get this phone. However, hear this out. The Realme X7 Max or Realme GT Master Edition aren't a 10 out of 10 phone. 7 out of 10 at max. But when they go on discount at 22,000, they become like 10 out of 10 phone. And this will be the case with Samsung M52 5G as well. It won't be replaced in a while, and in discount, it's super recommended. If you're a heavy gamer, stay away. The gaming performance and overall thermals of the phone is not good. However, if you want a decent Samsung phone with all Knox security, Samsung Pay, and that overall One UI experience, it's a good phone. And if you want to see a mega comparison between all Snapdragon 778 phone, let us know in the comments. If we get 1,000 on them, we'll surely do it. I hope all your doubts are clear on Samsung M52 5G. I deserve a like in return. On that note, this is Prateek signing off. See ya soon. Pew pew pew.